I am Apostle Jennifer. I am a servant of the Lord here on assignment to serve you today. You got to take this conversation back to the Lord, especially if you are one that is into health and fitness and feels the conviction like ASAP. So if you're new to this channel, welcome. If you are returning, welcome back, fam. I am so on fire to be able to talk to you about this topic today, like for real, for real. Look, so I am a former fitness addict. It is something that I continually have to lay down before the Lord, because if I don't, it will become an idol. I was a 20-year military CB, so that's how I got my love for health and fitness. I have run 2 marathons. I was at the height of physical fitness. I mean, I was doing handstand push-ups, dips. I was on my way to doing pull-ups. Pull-ups are no joke. If I could have only found the key, I was trying my hardest. Like, man, if I could only reach my utility belt, Batman, I could knock these pull-ups out. But I was still running faster than most men. I was just getting hours and hours in the gym. I tried out actually for a muscle and fitness competition. I'm telling you, my body was banging. I had to pull out though because of the fact that I would have had to bare my body publicly on a more wide scale platform, and I wasn't prepared to do that as a Christian, because you're wearing next to nothing as you're showing off your body, and that was not something that I felt led to do at the time. Thank goodness. But I was really there with it. I remember even y'all with supplements. Oh, the supplement game. Let's talk about it. I had supplements galore. I had a little extra money one time, and I had spent like $400 on supplements. I had a whole shelf in my kitchen cabinet that I had to stack stuff on because it was full of supplements. How could you spend $400 on supplements, you ask? Let me tell you. Protein powders, caffeine, pre-workout, right? I had BCAAs, I had collagen, I had magnesium, I had creatine, I had multivitamins, I was taking digestive enzymes. I also had these powders because I really love just having smoothies in the morning. So I had this green powder that had all of these great greens in it. I had this red powder that had beets and all of these things that helped out with recovery. I had also just a lot of different types of vitamins. There were some times that I did vegan, so I would take B12 supplements, and the list just goes on and on and on. I just was so into fitness. Now my body showed it. My body showed it. Because to add, I was eating next to nothing, right? I was eating cucumbers, I can count it on one hand. Cucumbers, boiled eggs, chicken, smoothies. That's about it. I had went down that rabbit hole watching all those darn documentaries and watching all of these individuals that participated in these fitness competitions and looking at their diets towards the tail end of the diet prep, getting ready to go into competition. And I was just all about fitness. I tell you what, I remember having a whole little crew like at my job who were just like worshiping me over health and fitness. They were like, oh my gosh, how can you do it? It's so good. Your body looks so great. Like, you are able to not eat all of these bad things. How is it that you're able to do that? And they were just like fawning over me. It was weird. But I had reached the heights of physical fitness. I was on fire when it came to fitness. I was knocking out like 60 push-ups like it was nothing. I was doing it big, and I found myself talking about it all the time. Like, it was my fun topic. Whenever you would bring up fitness, I'm like, I'm all in. Hold on, don't say nothing else. Let me get comfortable. I want to talk about this. Let's go. And I was evangelizing fitness, like, oh, you gotta be fit and you gotta try it, and this thing will save you. So I was not evangelizing about Jesus. I was evangelizing about fitness. For me, that was the good news for other people. And this was as a Christian. I was just so totally absorbed with it. I remember doing sessions for like 2 hours in the gym. And I'm not talking about taking breaks. I'm talking about full on doing what it was that I need to do in the gym. And I would be frustrated because I still wouldn't be able to get in everything I wanted to get in at the gym. I just loved it. I just craved it. I'm a person that has like an extremist personality. Like, if I'm gonna do it, I'm gonna do it. And I'm gonna do it all the way. I'm gonna ride it till the wheels fall off. Y'all see how I am with the Lord. My moderation ticker is broke. I need all of Jesus to help me with moderation. But I would do a 45-minute sprint treadmill workout. I would get off that. I would go take my BCAAs real quick, wipe down, and then I would hit like another 45-minute workout. I remember I was doing like ThinX calisthenics workouts, and I would hit that for 45 minutes. And then I'd be like, okay, I want to go target my abs. So I would do like a 7-minute ab routine after that. Then after that, I'd be like, okay, I want to target my glutes because they're weak. And I had like back surgery way back in the day. So I always wanted to make sure that my back was good, my core was good, and that whole section was good. So I would just like dedicate a quick little workout to that. I was on it, y'all. Do y'all hear the insanity? Do y'all hear how it got me? The Lord switched all of that up. I have a video in which I may go, or I actually go a little deeper into it. I'll link it that way. I don't have to go into the fullness of my journey, but I really want to focus on where I am today and what the Lord has revealed to me and how it's just changed my whole perspective on health and fitness, because your girl today is not the same. I don't even own a pair of running shoes anymore. I got rid of those shoes when I turned over and committed to this new way of fitness, to this new way of eating. And it just extended way beyond that. It extended to having this lifestyle that's healthy, that's conducive to my walk with the Lord and tending to all that He has for me. So we're going to get into scripture that way. We can make sure that we have a strong biblical foundation for what I'm going to talk about. And then we're going to go ahead and dive a little deeper into this topic here. So give me a second. I'm just going to go ahead and pull up the scripture here on my laptop. First Corinthians 6:12, I have the right to do anything you say, but not everything is beneficial. I have the right to do anything, but I will not be mastered by anything. Some version says, not dominated by anything, not brought under the control of anything, but I won't allow anything to gain control over my life. I won't come under the power of anything. Does that strike a chord with someone that your health and fitness, that you've come under the power of it and become mastered by it? Another version says you won't be enslaved by anything. 1 Timothy 4:8, for physical training is of some value, but godliness, spiritual training is of value in everything and in every way, since it holds promise for the present life and for the life to come. 1 Timothy 4:5, for everything God created is good and nothing is to be rejected if it is received with thanksgiving. Ecclesiastes 9:7, go, eat your food with gladness and drink wine with a joyful heart, for God has already approved what you do. You know, they called Jesus a glutton and a drunkard. Yes, they did. John 4:34, all because he enjoyed his food with gladness and drunk his wine with a joyful heart. Shame on them. John 4:34, my food, said Jesus, is to do the will of him who sent me and finish his work. So let's go ahead and get into it. And this is where I want to go at first. Is this facade of health. This facade of health and fitness. You may think that your body is fit simply because you go to the gym and because you eat right. But if you are killing your body in the gym 2 hours a day, each day, it's almost like you going to go fight off a bear every single day. I was at the point where I wasn't even taking a day off sometimes because I couldn't. I would just sit there in my bed and I would just like be so unsettled because I couldn't get to the gym and couldn't work out. It was addiction. I told my ex at the time, I said, why I need to take a day off? Michael Phelps didn't take a day off. He said, you ain't Michael Phelps. I was like, you never know unless I go find out and work out 7 times a day trying to stifle my greatness, right? She's just looking out for me. But I remember just being so consumed with health and fitness in that way. Like I said, I was eating close to nothing. And with all that I was doing, I just couldn't understand why the rest of my life was the way it was until the Lord revealed to me it's because of your health and fitness routines and perspective. See, I was at a point where I wasn't loving my life. I wasn't at all. I was having difficulties and struggles meeting the demands of life. But here I was, over caffeinated in the morning. I mean, when I would look for pre-workouts, I'm going for the max. I don't want to just go for the max. What's the dangerous stuff? I had some stuff out in Mexico when I was running from God. Didn't last but a day. He caught me as soon as I got out there. But that thing was like 425 milligrams of caffeine. So here I was taking the caffeine for my pre-workout during the day. And then when I would come off the caffeine, I would just have these dips. And then even when I was here in the States and had to work, I would have to get more caffeine. So I would get like an energy drink to keep me up during the day because I would begin to come off the caffeine. So here I was doing this all day, my hormones all out of whack. I'm not eating enough. I'm working out like crazy. I'm not monitoring stress. I'm stressed out. With everything that's going on in my life and doing not much at all to combat it, because I was only spending like 45 minutes at the time in my devotion time with the Lord, and that was for everything, in comparison to how I was beating up and destroying my body, in the gym and throughout life. I wasn't hydrating. I wasn't always getting enough sleep. I just wasn't taking care of myself at all. I wasn't to a point where I was really guarding my mind gates, my ear gates, my heart gates. I was just letting everything in, and that all had an impact on my overall health. And then I was wondering why I just was waking up so much in the morning, like screw my life. Like it was almost like my only joy. It was just like getting to the gym and health and fitness. And I was so totally consumed with it. But then I started to feel it, right? There were times where throughout the day, like I'm just low energy, where I'm just kind of barely moving at night because, things are like creaking and things are just sore and I'm just not recovering well. And I was anything but healthy. Like I was eating so little, y'all. I was eating so little that I was proud of the fact that I had control over my appetite, and I was developing all of these different perspectives on nutrition and on why I wasn't eating what I was eating. I was turning down people's food. I remember going to a get together and the person told me that there was cheese in the salad, and I like spit it out at the table. I was so strict and so serious. And I think back to that, how rude that was. But I was at this point where I had this phobia of eating anything unhealthy. It was a situation, and it was all in the name of good health and fitness. But even though I looked fit, obviously, if you were to really consider fitness mentally, emotionally, physically, and spiritually, I was just all out of whack, especially even spiritually, because my fitness was not submitted to the Lord. And anything not submitted to the Lord has the ability to be corrupted. It absolutely does. So the Lord had showed me, like, you are really not as fit as you think. Like, your body needs help. I got to a point where I got to the gym and it was difficult for me to work out, but I would push it because I just didn't have it, but I would still push my body. And I knew that I was suffering from adrenal fatigue. I knew that I was suffering from being overworked. I just knew it, that my body wasn't able to recover. And the Lord just really began to work with me on it over time. And I have that journey that I'll list in that video. But today, the Lord took a different slant on it. And I'm not talking about the date today. I'm just talking about over this past season. The Lord has been doing a number on me. He walked me through back in the day this initial process of like opening up my diet and changing my workout schedules and having me focus on, different things in order to submit my fitness under him. And it was really great. He really used a lot of my routines to be able to teach me spirituality. I mean, I remember him telling me to go swim and just getting in the flow with the water and the movements and trusting that I wasn't going to hyperventilate and that I was going to be okay. That control of breath is so important underwater. And he was just like, you see how you're doing this? Just trust me. You got this. Just get in the flow. This is how I want you to do with your walk. He just really used it to allow me to go even deeper in him in understanding. But now today in this season, what he's showing me is, if you want to be a gentle and quiet spirit, if you want to be a person that's of peace, if you want to be self-controlled, if you want to be all of these things that I call you to be as a child of God and as a woman, you need to cultivate a lifestyle that's gentle, that's peaceful, that is quiet, in which you have self-control, in which it's all submitted to me. So he completely changed my workout. I don't own a pair of running shoes. He switched me from running hard to walking. He switched me from doing these very hard exercises and calisthenics to Pilates and stretching. He switched my eating over to it being completely open. Now, I love to eat clean, so I really do eat clean throughout the week. But if anybody offers me something in love, baby, I'm receiving the love. I receive it all in Thanksgiving. If I go out to eat, I'm going to have a hamburger and some fries. If throughout the week there happens to be something available like cookies or something and I want it, I still eat it. I fast once a week. I usually fast on the days that I have my Sabbath, so I do that all at one time. But it's not strict. It's open. And I love that. It makes room for spontaneity. It leaves room for me actually having what it is that I want. I drink water. I drink a lot of water. I drink probably about, this is 1 liter. I drink 3 or 4 of those in the morning. As soon as I wake up, I drink one. And then every single time I go to the bathroom, I just drink another one. And I'm realizing my body is craving water. Like, it is so dehydrated. You guys can see I've been having issues with my lips for so long. I put so much chapstick on. I just put a bunch of chapstick on, but it didn't take. I just realized how even now my body is still dehydrated and is still calling. And my body just absolutely loves water. I notice when I am not eating as good or not working out, like on my days on certain days, I notice how the water doesn't even flow through me. Like, I won't even have to go to the bathroom and I'll drink 3 of them. But when I'm eating well and when I'm still doing some physical activity, when I'm getting my sleep, when I'm doing everything I'm supposed to do, it just runs through me. And my mouth, I can feel it in my mouth. I will drink 3 of those and my mouth is still like signaling I want more. I could feel it on the tip of my tongue and in my lips. Like, my body is like, oh my gosh, you giving me water, more. So I drink a lot of water and I love this flow going through me. I have gotten to a point where I have little to no stress. I don't allow, a lot to stress me out and to overwhelm me. Everybody has their moments, but I've learned just these things that the Lord taught me in guarding my mind, guarding my heart, guarding my spirit, closing it off so I'm just not receiving everything. And then also just me developing more intimacy with the Lord helps me to display those fruits of the Spirit. And it just allows for there to be less stress. Even with the stretching, I just feel this great release that's absolutely amazing. Also, I make sure that I get enough sleep, and I'll adjust my times waking up if I need to be able to get more sleep, or I'll incorporate a nap in a day to make sure that I can get enough sleep. But it is this whole lifestyle in which what I receive and what I put out, it's all within a manner of self-control that's all submitted to the Lord. No more hours and hours and hours of working myself out and beating myself up. I feel so good about it. And it's interesting, the more that I do, the more my body just craves it. I just naturally stretch on my own now. Like throughout the day when I'm walking, I just feel the urge to like stretch all day long. And it's such a great thing because my body absolutely loves it. And I feel so much more at peace now. I really feel like I spent the first part of my life tearing my body up, and now I'm spending the second part of my life actually caring for it and tending to it and honoring it and protecting it. I don't have a whole lot to prove anymore. And I think about it and I just have to remind myself of what's important in this time, and that I serve God. You see, I used to say stuff like, I'm gonna ride this thing till the wheels fall off. But what I didn't consider was what it's like to ride it with the wheels falling off. I don't want to be 60 and 70 years old with a cane hunched over because of those golden years. I mean, I've had that experience. I don't need to keep having it. So I turned it over. I want to be healthy and fit to meet the demands of God. I want to come for my workout and have it rejuvenate me, have me feel like I'm even in a better place to be able to serve God. I want to be able to feel prepared to be able to serve God and have the energy, have the vigor, have the vitality to serve Him and do all that He's called me to do, to be able to engage others as I need to be able to do the work. And I can do that now because I'm not cooked. I don't take a supplement. I don't take any supplements anymore. I don't drink any caffeine. I don't take any caffeine supplements at all. I simply, at this time, do what it is that God is calling me to do. So I feel good because it's finally in its proper place. It's finally in the place that it needs to be, and that is surrendered to God. When I think about how obsessed I was with fitness, I feel like now I'm obsessed with God and the plans and purposes He has for my life. I'm just going for it with everything that I have, led by Him, surrendered by Him. So I don't want to be mastered or controlled by anything but God. And the truth was, I was mastered and controlled by fitness, but I wasn't able to reap the internal fruit of fitness only the exterior. Even my fitness was superficial. I'm so glad the Lord woke me up to that, because now I'm at a place where I feel good about my workout. I don't just feel good working out while I work out. I feel good about my workout. I feel good. I'm 44 years old. 44 years old. Yes, baby. And at 44 years old, I feel good about the idea of really taking care of my body. I feel really good about the idea of surrendering my fitness to God. At 44 years old, I love my body in the way that it is. The funny thing is, when I was at my peak, when I was doing the dang thing, I was 165 pounds. Today, I just got on the scale this morning. It was 164 pounds. Now, 164 pounds look a little different. But still, I didn't blow up. I didn't blow up to like 200-300 pounds. I'm 5'10", by the way. So, a little different. I believe for my height, it's somewhere around like 159 to 177, like somewhere in there. So at a good space where I am with my weight. But I want to bring that up because I know there are a lot of people that are concerned with being on 600-pound life if they slack off from their diet, but and their workout, if they change things up. But I released it to the Lord, and he just showed me another way. And I see that I'm not putting as much stress on my body right now. I see my body is well hydrated. It's able to recover. It is not getting pushed to the effect that it was. I mean, why was I pushing so hard? You'd have thought I was going for the Olympics. I wasn't doing nothing. But I just didn't put the thought into holistic health that I needed to. And now I do. So I just wanted to spend some time to talk about this today. I'm going to link all of these fitness videos that I've talked about before in the past on here. This conversation gets really deep in how the Lord changed me back in the day, and a lot of this stuff you'll hear again. But it's good just to be able to really take a look at worldly fitness versus godly fitness. See, the worldly fitness, it's coming from a foundation of vanity. But godly fitness, it is going to keep you healthy in every aspect of your being, but so you can do what it is that you're created to do. All of it should flow together. All of it should be in alignment. All of it should support another. It shouldn't be so out of whack to where your health and fitness is on a pedestal even above God. So I want you to take some time to really be able to reflect on your state of health and fitness, and really make sure that you have not come under the power of it, and that you are not engaging it to any extreme, but making sure it's submitted to God. So if you like this video, like, comment, subscribe. If you want to donate, please feel free to do so on my front page. My information is on there. Make sure you pour back into what pours into you. Write your comments down. What you think about that? Worldly fitness versus godly fitness. I'm telling you, them shoes is gone. Them workout shoes, baby. If you need me to run somewhere, you got the wrong person. Jesus didn't run nowhere, okay? I want to be like Jesus. I didn't see Jesus in the Bible doing dips, okay? And doing push-ups. So your girl ain't either. We don't hung all that up. Just let me know your thoughts in the comments. Y'all have an amazing day in the Lord. Talk soon.